and share now.
All right, welcome back. 9:15. Right about now, this is the wake up call we've got inside the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So now it's time for your questions as promised. All righty, then I'm gonna try to move up as much as possible. Let me see. Why are teachers faced with mandatory vaccination but the students are not? Are we to believe that you are saying 30 to 50 unvaccinated teachers are more dangerous from a health perspective than 300 to 500 students? There shouldn't be two laws for two sets of people. That's not consistent or fair.
We don't have mandatory vaccination. We have a requirement for teachers. Mm-hmm. And the point about it is this. It is not, at least at the moment, the country has not been advised by the chief medical officer that persons in the primary school, persons up to the age of 12, which is basically the primary school, that they shouldn't be vaccinated. Whereas from 12 upwards, persons are being vaccinated, young people, and they're doing that as per normal. But anybody would accept that the teachers have a special responsibility in relation to the students. And the point is this, is that if the teacher is concerned that a student may give them COVID, that's all the more reason that they should take the vaccine and to take additional precautions with the mask and all the various protocols, because they're in a position of greater responsibility. I mean, the thing to me is self-evident. The question proceeds on an incorrect premise. Mm-hmm. But the point is this, mm-hmm. And one of the reasons, if you look at what the United Nations has been saying now, because of COVID globally, we are in danger of having a generational catastrophe. That's their words, because of the impact of COVID on learning. So and you know, from the beginning I said you'll see the results of this COVID on education within the next 7 to 10 years, and you'll see the full impact of that
Prime
problem.
Minister at that time?
Huh?
You think you'll still be Prime Minister, or at least the ULP?
No. I hope I wouldn't be Prime Minister at that time, and I don't intend to be.
The choice will be yours, or?
Well, there are choices. There is an election in 2025.
Yes.
And persons decide who they want to be Prime Minister by voting a particular party in power. Uh-huh. But I genuinely, honestly don't expect to be there in the role as a candidate to be Prime Minister in 2025. I'm hoping that somebody in the party, in the government currently, will take over from me before then.
Okay. All right. Another question. Remember, it's just 2 minutes for the responses. Why is the PM delegation to Dubai the same delegates over and over? Why not give other artists a chance? Expo Dubai.
I don't have... Let me see if I have the list here. Okay. Let me just see. I can't recall all. Okay. The persons whom I see here is about 18 of them. Entertainers and cultural ambassadors.
Name them.
Rodney Small, Hans John, Luther, Darren Andrews, Chanel McKenzie, Ricardo Adams. He's not an entertainer, but he's involved with the carnival. Mm-hmm. Azariah Gibson, Skinny Fabulous, David Morgan,
Kern
Small, Andrew James, Shane Wynn, Javed Jackson, Jamora Francis, Edward Roberts, Pablo Lewis, Fireman Hooper. So that's that.
No Kevin Little, no Marlon Rudet.
No, I didn't choose these people. These were chosen
by
with the Invest SVG and the entertainers. That's my understanding. the I'm sure that if the entertainers had suggested Kevin Little or if Invest SVG had done so, I didn't have anything to do with that. But I don't think that the persons who are talking there talking necessarily about Kevin Little or Marlon Rodette. And
Okay, all right. 2 minutes. Can you kindly ask the PM what's his take? Well, I think this question here on your take on the mandatory policy, you have mentioned that over and over, and we've touched on that a bit already. All right. So, and in our last sitting last week, Friday, you answered. Oh, well, he's saying, tell him to keep up the good work, but kind of withdraw the policy and to reemploy the workers. You spoke about that last week, so we're not going to go back in that. Somebody's asking, when are the frontline workers going to get their $500, please and thanks?
Who said frontline workers are getting $500?
I'm just saying, man.
But that's.
I'm reading.
The point about it is this. One lady from the port called me and said to me, well, we're frontline workers and took the vaccine. How is it we're not frontline workers to get $500? So I simply asked the question, did you take the vaccine to please me? Or you take it for your own health and well-being? So I don't understand that you must get $500 because you take a vaccine.
Okay.
Okay. What we're talking about, nurses who are involved in a particular way, they got the money. There are other categories I'm waiting on and for the list because they had a list.
Teachers too?
Teachers who had gone to the working at the shelters now and so forth. And that list, I've asked them to give me a list. Everybody who would walk through the shelter at any time, they send a list. Somebody who might even come in and inquire about the thing, like just traveling and saying, well, how the thing going, how the cooking going, how this thing going, and so on, so on, so on. And they might have passed a couple of times. Well, that's not somebody who was involved there working day and night beyond the call of duty. So they have to give me the list. I'm waiting on it.
Okay.
Because the list they gave me, they sent first. It will be over $1 million.
We have money. Over
$1 million. Woo! So the point about it is this. So I asked them, because I just looked down and saw some persons. So I simply asked, these persons were actually working. They said no, but they had come by. I said, but it's not a thing for people who come by.
Okay. Remember, It's 2 minutes for responses, right?
No, but I give you the answer on that.
Right.
And it's the same. It's the same. I mean, if I see Crystal's name, I say, boy, Crystal was working in California or Glen. No, she come by, but she can't come by.
So people messing up the system, then PM?
No. Well, I don't got the names of the persons, But and I'm sure that when the list is sent to me finally and I approve it, it won't be 100% correct.
Well, you gotta put in place some checks and balances.
No. You put the checks and balances at the end of the day. You have to rely
before it gets to you and waste your time.
You have to rely on post. Well, that's what I've done, and they're working with that. But if I get it 90-something% correct,
I prefer 100%.
Yes,
you cannot. PM, we are in. This is rough waters. You guys have said it to us, right?
Listen to me.
We cannot afford to waste a cent.
Crystal.
Yes, Mr. Prime Minister.
We must not make perfection the enemy of the good, so that if a few persons, I don't want anybody to slip through like you. Nobody slip through. But if it happens, but I get the list 90-something% correct. So in other words, for a handful who not deserving, who get. I know it would cause some angst, but I in the real and practical world, I'm satisfied with 90-something%.
Okay, but other people may not be satisfied with
Yeah. I understand that, but you know,
because it's taxpayers' money.
Yeah. But the only
Right?
thing, yes, and I accept all that.
And it is quite unfair for some people who are undeserving to get, and other people who might be deserving to get don't get.
Yeah. And I accept that. Right? That.
So,
but the point is this: if you do that, if you wait for complete perfection with it, you wouldn't get. Nobody would get. So you'll say it's perfect because nobody gets.
So pull out the ones do you know definitely, and the ones that are questionable.
I don't know those. I don't know those. So that is dependent on the process which comes through.
So the process needs reforming.
No. At the end of the day, Crystal, come on, be practical. Nemo is dealing with this.
Revenue leakage, PM. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. But Nemo is dealing with it. Crystal, be sensible. Be practical. The head of Nemo doesn't know every single person. But if persons whose faces are close to the grindstone and they suggest that John Brown was there, but John Brown wasn't there. But there's let's say 2-3 persons in charge of a shelter, and they decide to put John Brown's name down. And John Brown, they just only pass by. How is the head of Nemo to know? You have to rely on somebody somewhere. Somebody has to check the list. The problem is the person
at the ground who's compiling that initial list and the verification process down there to make sure that everybody who is on that list is deserving of the country's money.
I agree with you 100%, but at the end of the day...
You agreeing with me, but you're still saying 90-something% is acceptable.
No. But the point I'm saying is this. You get the point I'm making, brethren?
No. Leave Lano. Leave Lano out of it.
But I'm just telling you.
I'm supposed to get the point.
I am, yes, but in your mindset there, you ain't getting that point. But 99,
we are disagreeing.
99.9% of the people who listening to us here will say, but
where you get that information from?
Ralph is right. I know the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. That's why I have Prime before my name.
PM, you are pulling those figures out of mid-air, thin air. Yes, you are. Yes.
But it's good. I'm very happy for those who are preparing the list. Crystal says, and I agree with Crystal with that, send me the list 100% correct.
Do it properly or don't do it at all.
Well, that's the point, you see. You either get the whole hog or zero.
Okay. All right. Next question. Good morning, Crystal Lano. Good morning, Mr. Prime Minister. There's a question I'd like to ask you that I've debated several times amongst my friends, and I think you can answer it best. What are your views on a leader of a country, any country that aligns their family members, say like son or daughter, to take over their reign as leader of the said country?
Well, I am not lining up anybody to take over. Be very specific about the question. You're talking about Camilo. Camilo is...
Although he did not...
No. But I live in the real world.
Generally speaking...
The only thing... So I could pass all the meanderings.
Okay.
Camilo went to the electorate in 2015. The people voted for him. They voted for him in 2020. And Camilo, it is acknowledged by everybody that he's a brilliant young man. He has a lot of good experience in law, at the United Nations, whatever jobs he has ever been given, he gave. Right now, as Minister of Finance, he's doing a very good job. He's given his best. And Camilo did something. Camilo was born in America. Camilo...
It's not like a campaigning up here.
No, I'm not campaigning. You ask me a question, I have to answer. Please.
Mm-hmm.
Camilo didn't have to sit in Parliament because he wasn't in America born there as a question of his choice.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have been in America, in the Parliament as an American citizen born in America. And he's a Vincentian by descent. However, once he decided that I am putting my bucket in the country which I have considered to be my country from the very beginning, because of my father, St. Vincent the Grenadines. He gave up his American citizenship. Friday, say he has his American citizenship, his Canadian citizenship, his passport proudly inside his front pocket. Huh? Talk to me about that. So the point is this: you can't go and discriminate against Camilo in any job, none whatsoever. Mm-hmm. His colleagues and his party will decide whether he or any of the others who in Parliament will succeed me.
At your convention?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you don't mind what the person was asking?
No, but what the person is asking is, I hear the form. Well, I don't know if that's how they ask it. I heard the formulation by you.
PM, I could turn it around I could show you. No, because you're saying like I put in words or take out words, I change up the thing.
I know the first one.
I read exactly what is
the
there.
The first one you pre-see or paraphrase.
Which first one?
No, and only one, not this one. You say, how am I going to ask this question? So I don't know what the person.
No, because I think it was a repetition.
Okay, all right. But the point about it is this. But there is this notion that because Camilo is Ralph's son, he must be discriminated against because he's my son. That's rubbish. The question is this: do people think that he has the capacity to do the job, to succeed Ralph? And if they think he has that capacity, and that of the lot who are within the Parliament on the ULP side, who are representative, whether he is the best of the lot.
Okay.
And the point about it is this. Let me tell you, I'll tell the story. Give me a minute.
Right, because the 2 minutes gone.
Yeah.
Long time.
But sometimes,
okay.
else could be.
So don't James, take up too much of the minute now.
About in 2017, Camilo and Saboto were in this is before Friday became leader. They were in Beckway, and Mitchell invited them to breakfast. Stayed overnight. They had something. And Mitchell said in his own folksy way, and I raised it with him, he laughed. He said, yeah, I talked to the fellas. So both of them tell me, Camilo and Saboto. Mitchell said, listen to me. My party has no leadership. He said, we see that Arnhem has lost so many elections. They can't go back there. And as to Friday, he's a joker. I'm telling you what the fellas tell me and what was confirmed to me by Son himself. He said, look, the two young men in Parliament, who are two good leaders I see, Camilo is you and Saboto. One of you decide who can come to the NDP. So that let me be happy that I know that there is a leader of the ULP and one of NDP. So the fellas joke, they say, but his NDP is not your own. You could just give somebody leader, and they had a joke over it and they laugh. So even a man as distinguished as Sir James, who knows about leadership, he wanted Camilo to lead one and Saboto to lead the other one. So you don't see, you don't see we are blessed with an abundance of riches. So that is, I wasn't going to get philosophical about that question which was asked. I was going to be very practical in the circumstances. I could write a thesis on it, but that's not my job. It's to answer it practical.
Okay, all right. Moving on to the next question. Somebody is asking about bridges over the river.
Yes. The one at I got the report this morning on what happened at Overland again. And Gomery raises it all the time. And there's money inside of the budget. And he's the Minister of Works, and the technical people have been advised to come up first of all with a solution which is not going to take ad infinitum. Because in building a bridge is years, the design and do the rest of the things. But it's possible to do a Bailey Bridge and do the abutments and do it high enough, at least. And Bailey bridges could last quite a long time, but to have a solution which can be implemented fairly quickly. That's one of the things which is on the table, but they're dealing with it. But they're dealing with it. So that's where we are with that.
All right. Light at Arnesville playing field.
Huh?
Arnesville playing field lights, so that people could use the facility at nights. There's no airport anymore.
Yes.
Somebody's asking about that.
Yes. There are a number of things to be done at Arnesville. I can't recall whether we have the lights in it. But certainly they have some repairs to be done. And also they're talking about an electronic scoreboard. I don't know whether the lights are in it. I could inquire.
The lights should be in it.
Yes.
It's been a while. It's been a minute.
Yeah. But the point about it is this. There are lots of things. The lights at Victoria Park, the lights which we replaced at Calipa, well, we have some lights at South Rivers, but they're not as good as, for instance, those which at Victoria Park. But you do what you're doing within the context of the resources which are available. But there's a major upgrade planned in this year's budget for Arnesville.
Okay. Someone is asking if you are brave enough to call a snap elections like what was done in Barbados.
Different people have different ideas about these things. I don't know what motivated me. I read what Mia said, that she has the issues which she has. She doesn't, the silly season started early. She don't want the divisiveness which she saw arising. In the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we have had divisiveness from day one. After 1 month, when the NDP in the 2001 election, NDP, when they hold a rally at the market area in front of by PH Vera, well, I call it a wake without cocoa tea. But at that, they pronounce, they had just lost 12-3. They said NDP again and again and again. And that Ralph wouldn't last up to budget at the end of the year. When I passed the budget, they say I wouldn't last till the next year. And that's when I tell them, I say, you all say that I'm a short-term papa. Be careful, I ain't turn out to be long-term papa,
Yeah, remember the 2 minutes, right?
Yeah. I remember in the 2 minutes.
Okay.
But some questions admit to a little longer answer. And you give me 5 years, I'm going to 5 years. If there is something of a nature which is sufficiently cataclysmic, I'm not talking in physical terms now, in political terms, that it is necessary and desirable to have it, I will exercise my authority under the Constitution to advise Her Excellency to dissolve Parliament. But I've not done it since 2001, and it's unlikely that I will so do, unless you have this particular exceptional set of circumstances.
Okay.
The fact that people want to beat up on me, and every Monday morning want to go and have a protest. If you want to put Melbourne Mass Band on the road every Monday morning, go ahead.
What do you mean Melbourne Mass Band?
It's the smallest mass band in the country. I think 100 people, 110 people.
Melbourne Mass Band.
Yeah,
Okay.
Melbourne Mass Band. That's what it is. No, or you want to have a protest with 10, 15 people, go ahead. I mean, it's a free and democratic
The
country.
mass man out
But
this man.
none of that phases me. Absolutely none of that.
Okay.
So the answer is the people give us a mandate from now until 2025.
So no, not gonna do that.
Save and except if they're exceptional
Okay.
circumstances.
All right. Somebody is asking about the amendments to the Sexual Offences Act. When is that coming? And the implementation of sex offenders registry. 2 minutes.
Well, all of that is in the hands of the draftsperson,
Okay.
legal draftsperson.
Okay. Another question. Let me take one from the WhatsApp here. That was a really quick answer there, boy. I didn't anticipate.
But because I answered it, a lot of it last time.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna play this one, so you have to put on the headphones.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Why isn't it coming across? But in any event, I'm not hearing it.
I'm hearing a little music in my ear, but that's all.
Okay, so the voice note unfortunately is empty. I am not hearing it coming through, so we're just gonna have to skip over that one.
Okay.
Good morning, Prime Minister. That's a repeated question. Somebody is saying, ask about police. What about the police?
What about the police?
I'm not too sure. Another vaccine mandate question. When will Union Island's wharf be upgraded? And when will Union Island have a park with floodlights? When will we be getting low-income houses? And when will we have water connected to our homes?
Well, I happen to know on the latter, the CWSA is working on the Grenadines Water Project, both Beckway and also Union Island. Then there's some recent facilities which were upgraded in sporting in Union Island, and there is another facility to be upgraded. It's in the budget. What was it? I'm not sure about the wharf, so I'll have to check on that. Those are the. There's some persons who have received support with houses down in Union Island and will continue to receive. And if the questioner has somebody whom they know is in substandard housing, they can always send the information to me, get it to Edwin Snag, and we have a housing revolution going on. Right at the moment, we're focusing on those who lost their homes and who get their home badly damaged in North Windward in the red zone.
Right. So the next question pertains to that. When are the evacuees going to occupy their homes in Orange Hill?
Well, the last report I got last week was that they're doing some finishing work on the houses in Orange Hill. So sometime pretty soon, we should be having them moved in. Every week I get a report on it, and I'm interested to know what is the report now about the infrastructure, how that is going. I'm talking about the roads now within the housing settlement. By the way, versus talking about housing, I intend to give out the houses over Lomans on Monday the 31st.
Okay.
This month.
All right. So next week, Monday. Too many issues on most of Vincentians' minds at this particular moment: bad roads and the hospital or healthcare. Why isn't the government not urgently addressing these issues? Other projects can be placed on the back burner until these are sorted.
But we are addressing them. We are addressing them on an ongoing basis. We have built more roads and repaired more roads than any other government in the history of this country. We have built more health facilities. We have done work on the hospital. We have budget. We have in the hospital in the budget this year for further work on the hospital. We have done lots of work on the existing facility. I don't know if the person has gone and looked at work which we done in the female ward, work what we did with the operating theaters, work what we did with the kitchen, work which was done by down the pediatric section, and and I told you earlier on I would have want to talk to you about, which I spoke about on 2 radio stations already this week, about the acute referral hospital. The World Bank is on the ground now. When I say on the ground, virtually having conversations with all the funding and everything. And there's a design which has been done. It should go to the board of the World Bank on in July. If we do some of the work which we have to do here, a consultant do some, and also the World Bank itself. It would end up costing something in the region of 80 million US. They have 60, so I'll have to find the other 20. But just over a week ago, we had a gap of 62 million on the what is emerging as a project, knocking itself close to 200 million US down at the new port. And I found the 62 just over a week ago.
Okay.
I believe that I could find 20 US from, I have
20 million US. 20 US is $53.40. 20 million.
Yeah, million I'm talking about.
Okay, wow.
Million. But the World Bank, we could get up to 60.
That's a lot of money.
So I had the inception discussion with them on this visit, virtually. I'm talking about with the person, the vice president for the hemisphere, the regional director, and plus the point person and other professionals there. Camilo and Jimmy were with me, and Jimmy Prince, and then our own technical people, including some local consultants. So the sometimes I'm glad the question is asked, but I've been speaking about this.
Only 2 minutes too.
But I've been dealing with it. Well, it's important. I've been dealing with repeatedly. So there it is.
All right. What has become of the water tanks that were donated after the volcanic eruptions last year?
Some of the water tanks have been put at public facilities. We asked 2 weeks ago for NEMO to give us the list of water tanks in the inventory and the places where we're going to put them. Because there are different sizes of tanks to be put different places. Naturally, public facilities are the places where they're going to. The number of individuals coming to ask
farmers
for water tanks, different farmers, other individuals for this or that reason to go put by their house. But we want to make sure that they're the proper at public facilities where the circumstances are appropriate. So that's what is happening.
Okay, Kingston cleanup.
That more of that is going to be done this year. It's a real problem, real challenge, but we have resources in the budget to go at it.
What's the most challenging part?
Most challenging part is moving persons who are blocking up the sidewalk.
I wonder how that started.
Well, it's a phenomenon which is taking place across the world.
Well, we specific about SPJ.
No. But we know
that they see it on TV and they're like, I'm gonna do that too at home.
And the point about it is this: the rural urban movements that have taken place have added extra pressure. We can have a long discussion on that, and I could come back and I can bring persons as to how we have evolved there and what we are doing.
Okay. So it is 12 minutes on to 10 o'clock.
Oh, I should go.
I don't want to be late. You don't want to be late for some people are asking about.
Do I suspect I'll get obliged to go through the traffic?
No comment there. People are asking about repayment of loans and other voice notes and questions that were coming in. Some of them were about the vaccines and teachers, but you would have touched on that before. I hope that I have asked as many questions as possible because you know how it gets very hectic.
And I may not be able to come back before I go to Dubai, but when I come back, if you want me to come by, just shout aye. Shout,
I should
shout the
just
man.
literally shout I.
Shout the man. Shout the man. Or your brethren, Sian.
Okay. I would like for you to put in a word for me with I feel like they are running from us.
Who?
Minister of Agriculture and Minister of Finance. So put in a good word for me, okay?
No, they wouldn't run away from you. Those young
Well,
men.
I've been waiting for like 10 years.
Those young men.
Like big 10 years.
Both of them are your partner.
I don't feel so.
Yeah. I will tell them. I will tell
No,
them.
I don't have no partner.
I will tell them today at cabinet that I will exaggerate it. I would say, tell Sabi and Camilo.
Let me. Okay, so watch me. Okay, go ahead now.
Tell Sabi and Camilo that I'm a strong, independent woman. I like when I love persons that love must not be unrequited. It must be returned. And the return in this case is to find yourselves sitting down in the chair that the comrade has sat down on twice within 7 days, because she wants to have them there to grill them, to corner them. But the part which Sabi would say, I would say I mentioned on the radio that her love for both of you, and it's unrequited. He said, Sabi would say, well, Prime
What do you know about that? You're giving people
Sabi will say
pressure on there, man.
Sabi will say that well, I will have to return that love. I'll have to have a conversation with my bride, Prime Minister, and Camilla will say, she knows that I love her.
Lord have mercy.
And that I love her son. I love, etc. But I will tell him. I
don't want any words. I want
tell them all
action.
seriousness.
Action.
That you are demanding their presence.
No words.
Or
action.
I may just simply say, Empress Crystal has issued an order through an edict through me that you must find yourselves, each of you, within the next 2 weeks, one per week. You all decide, and that's another way in which I may put it. It depends as my mood takes me.
Whose mood? Your mood?
My mood.
Also, I may or may not. Okay.
No. The message would be delivered. It depends on, Yeah. This man has some wisdom in him,
All right. So
thank you very much. I enjoyed this, and I want to thank all those who sent their questions, and
it was a lot of more so comments over questions, and
yes,
still a little bit more.
Yes,
but
well, it's a never ending stream, or river, whatever it is.
I don't think. I mean, just a few minutes ago we were talking about Oria and the bridge. Now may not be the right time to talk about the rivers, because they've been facing that problem for quite some time.
Yeah, well,
and they're waiting patiently.
That one is not really a river as such.
Well, it looks like a river when it rains.
Yeah. It's the flood, and it's worse because of the material coming down now.
Yeah, and then people have to pass in.
Yeah.
You've seen it, right? You've seen it.
Yeah, I know the problem.
Yeah. So we got to work on the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for taking the time out to join us this morning.
And remember, they had an even bigger one at Raboka.
Somebody was asking about Raboka too.
And this man solved it. When they said it was insoluble.
Okay. So
I just want to say that.
Okay.
The track record is there.
Action, PM.
All the time.
No talk. Action.
Well, I do the action.
Okay. Lovely.
That's why the intelligent people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines were the overwhelming majority. So, comrades, stay there.
When you say overwhelming majority, in terms of seats or in terms of total votes? Because total votes went to the NDP. They got more.
Marginally, because of marginally.
It's still more though. It's less or more.
Marginally,
it's still more.
A marginal sliver because
it's still more.
Marginal sliver because of the majorities in the Grenadines.
So that's how you look at it. If the shoe was on the, If it was the other way around, I'm pretty sure you would not have said
I'm
that.
just giving the factual analysis. You come to the conclusion that you want
It's
to
still
come.
more. It's still more.
Yeah, I didn't deny that. I said,
right, you said marginally, but it's still more.
but it's marginal.
People,
This is not a situation of 1998 when we were 10 percentage points ahead of them, thousands of votes. I'm not talking about a sliver, clearly. But what I went in with 8 and came out with 9.
8?
I went in with 8 seats and came out with 9.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had a moment there,
Yeah.
Okay. So
God bless you and thanks very much.
you're welcome. Have a good day.
I appreciate.
All right, no problem.